1. Hadoop in support of an information strategy. For decades, I've watched the ebb and flow of data and technology keep up with each other. Technology advancements seem to breed data. Then, as more data becomes available, businesses clamor to capture that data and harness it as meaningful information for their enterprise. The hunger for information gives rise to new technologies. It's a never-ending dance. The advent of social media in the last decade has made available information that formerly didn't exist digitally. The opening of this digital data floodgate has created an opportunity for unparalleled advancements in technology. For example, affordable sensors that ensure the nonstop flow of digital data are available to supply chains. Internet speeds have increased, and coverage has broadened to keep the data flowing. Our ability to use the data at advanced levels, we call this data science, has increased tremendously. This is the most exciting time in the digital age. In 2013, the Earth generated about 4 zettabytes, ZB, of digital data. IDC forecasts that we'll generate 40 zettabytes by 2020. Although not all of that data will be used, increasingly more of it will. And it's not just stored once. Data with value is branched off into numerous databases across multiple companies. The amount of data globally generated in the last few years exceeds the sum of all data generated previously. We're on track to hit 50 billion connected devices. Processors are embedded in things everywhere. Most physical objects are on their way to being online. Internet Protocol 6 will allow for 78 octillion, billion, simultaneous connections. In a few years, the Internet will relatively swell from the size of a baseball to the size of the sun. Machines are primarily responsible for this explosion of big data. Machine data contains critical insights. It allows us to perform unprecedented triangulation of physical objects, including people. Unlike traditional structured data, for example, data stored in a traditional database for batch reporting, machine data is non-standard, highly diverse, dynamic, and high volume. The challenge is bringing the data together. We can build a comprehensive picture of activity when we correlate and visualize the related events across these disparate sources. Companies that can capture and harness this data can benefit accordingly. Industries that are growing fastest are those that are adopting new technologies and using data to understand themselves and their industry. We can't afford not to store and process more data if we want to be more successful than our peers. Companies know that if they can accurately anticipate a consumer's next move, they have a tremendous advantage in the market. Business has clear upward trends of spending on big data. It's projected to be the top item of spend in many industries. But big data is more than Hadoop. For example, Graph is a fast-growing database category, and streaming data is becoming more common for real-time data analysis. Both of these involve big data and were barely mentioned 10 years ago. Most companies have to admit that no matter what business they're in the business of information. Everything else they do simply allows them to keep a status quo. Successful businesses can accomplish nothing without an intense focus on the many and growing technical bases that can be used to store, view, and manage data. The vendor market has kept up with the increasing demand for data. As systems like Hadoop continue to annually double their price performance, bandwidth, and storage capabilities, amazing business opportunities become obtainable. Let no data escape should become the guidepost for organizations in their approach to data. Every element of data generated has value, either today or in the future. Once it's used for operational purposes, it will be interesting to analytics. If businesses truly want to embrace the "let no data escape" mantra, they must embrace the following technologies. Hadoop Spark ecosystem. This ecosystem will evolve, but the foundation, scale-out file systems without overhead, and the trend towards stronger non-functionals will not change.